I'd be, was it 46, 47, or 48? Something like that. But I'm grateful regardless. Who's counting age any day? Way these days are going on. A lot more things to worry about that. But anyway, born here in Kansas City, Kansas. Middle three boys. Went through a lot as a child. I was bullied. I was picked on. I was teased. I was harassed. I was mocked. I was poked fun of. Started out with humble beginnings. We grew up low income, poor. Not really, but yes, we had a house. But there were plenty of days and plenty of nights we didn't have no gas, no electricity, no water. We had to go to the gas station, fill up for water. In the wintertime with no heat, we had a fireplace. We had to sleep in front of the fireplace with wood. Go to family member's house. I remember as a child, as far as I can remember, I think I was 3 years old, 3 or 4. House burnt down. I was told that I was the one that caused it, but it wasn't so. I was in the closet with my older brother. Just know I came out running out the house butt naked. My brother had some matches and set the closet on fire with me in it. By the Most High, I came out. Got bullied every day at home by my older brother. He did some detestable things, some wild things and stuff like that. This is just my testimony. I'm just laying down the foundation of what I've been through and how I overcome it. I'm just letting you know this is what I've been through. My brother tortured me, did nasty and disgusting, despicable things to me as a child. I cried out, but hey, where we was growing up, tough it up, ain't no crybabies around here. I was a sensitive kid. I was sensitive to a lot of things. Got in trouble for things I didn't do. I'm not gonna say I was perfect child. I knew I did some things who would not deserve to get discipline, as all parents should discipline their kids when they get out of line. But there was a lot of times that I didn't do anything wrong, and I got chastised, I got beaten, I got whooped for. I was the type of person that always daydream a lot. I get lost in something. I found something I found comfort in, and I got lost in it. There was time I got lost in cartoons, and everybody's watching cartoons. Next thing you know, I look around, ain't nobody around. They done left me. I'm in the house. They thought it was funny. It hurt. But hey, I was a kid. You know no better. Growing up as a kid, got bullied at school, got bullied at home, got bullied at school. So it was like, it was no safe haven for me. My mother's side of the family got a big family. The man that raised me wasn't my biological father, but he raised me ever since. My mom was pregnant with me. He took her in. They was married, got divorced, and remarried when she was pregnant with me by my biological father. He tried to kill her, beat her, stuff like that. So he raised me as his own. I ain't gonna say he was a bad father. He was a great parent to me. Done a lot of things in my life and stuff. Fast forward, bully, harassed as a kid. Didn't realize what was really going on, but I just know I just got picked on a lot. Family members. You grew up, you thinking this is how family treats each other, but hey, we can't help what family we're born into, not knowing what's really going on. Fast forward, high school, dealt with racism for the first time. All this stuff. Became the youngest barber in Kansas City back in 94, 95. Been in a lot of karmic relationships and relationships where children was involved. Child was murdered, beat to death by a woman that I thought I was in love with. Um, Fast forward years later, met this other chick, thought she was pregnant with my son. Gonna find out 10 years wasn't. But in between that stuff, dealt with a lot of bad things in my life. Never perfect, but I always search for things because it was trauma bond relationships stemming from childhood things. Never healed from it, never understood why. We got to the point where it's out in the street, out in the world, doing worldly things and not just being obedient. But I was raised in the church. I always believed in the Most High. And growing up in the Baptist church, we don't get taught right. We get the bare minimum. They didn't believe, most churches nowadays do not believe in the commandments of the Most High. They don't believe in the statutes. They don't believe in his laws. So when you raise up in a Baptist church, Christian organization, we're under tutelage of an overseer of a church that either went to school to get his license to have pastoral positions or through nepotism because such and such, such and such, such and such. This is how we grew up. Church 4 times a day on Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday. Had a pretty good one. Can't complain about it. But got to the point where I was on drugs. I got locked up, off and on drugs for 20 plus, off and on for 20 years. Went through a lot of stuff. But these past 3-4 years, I was really sinking. I was doing good after I found out my son wasn't mine, and my son's mother was just very wicked. And I've been gang stalked. I've been things stolen from me because I sought validation in other people, and I didn't really seek validation in myself. I hung out with people that was no good for me. I did drugs and stuff like that. He cleaned me up, and I went back to the ways of the world. But let me tell you this. When I first got on drugs, my older brother was on drugs. And I told him I would never be like him. I became worse than he was. So it's very, very, very important that I tell y'all people, be careful what you say and how you say it, because you never know. But I always thought I spoke this to existence. Maybe I have, but recently, in the past few months, I kind of find out family members of mine that I was born into is not really my soul family. I took this journey and I started crying out to the Most High and asking him to save me because what was going on with me. He was like, all right. He showed me who I was and who I am. So now I had to really go for this journey. So I went on this journey to oneself, as far as self-discovery on loving myself and knowing who I am and knowing my role is in this kingdom. Family members practice divination. Had witches in my family. And a lot of people don't really understand that people who practice divination, this stuff is real. It is real. He says it in the scriptures. Those who practice divination, it says in the scriptures, suffer not a witch to live, and a witch shall not labor. Come to find out, I was under a curse the whole time through my family, and they were sucking me dry. They were sucking me dry. They gaslight me. They stole from me. and used me up and left me out for dead in the street while they partying, celebrating, and traveling, family functions, and all that stuff. You think somebody would really care for you? People who love you will be there for you. Try their best. Family. Just because you carry the same blood doesn't mean you're family. And I had to understand what family means. Family is the body of believers. The body of believers who believe in the Most High, Yahuwah, our Lord. Those who worship Him in spirit and truth. Those who are obedient to His statutes, laws, and commandments. The 12 tribe of Yasharel, the house of Yehuda, with our forefathers and ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, all black folks, kinfolk, but we are a separate nation. And I say that to say this, I've been through a lot of things. I've been through humiliated rituals. I've been gang stalked. I had a government on my butt. I had Illuminati, Freemasons, these secret societies, witches and warlocks, different factions. And it's sad when you have factions that really don't like each other come together just to take a person out, or the 144,000, the chosen ones. Those were called to His greater purpose. I've been through a lot and I didn't really know, but as I was going on this journey to self-discovery, I found out and everything. So plenty are called and few are chosen. And I didn't give up, no matter what I've been going through, how I've been going through, how I've seen it. I always, somehow, some way, I always made it through the other side. Even right now, it doesn't matter what it looks like. He qualified the call, And a lot of people got called, but they gave up. So I'm going to say this to my young adults, my brothers and sisters, teenagers, even our elders. There's a lot of men and women out here on these streets that lost their way because they gave up hope. And there's a lot of people that's coming out of these churches because these churches are blaspheming the Ruach HaKodesh, which they call the Holy Spirit. Now we know that the word holy is an abominable word. We get into that later. But the rock, which is the spirit of the Most High, we have people behind the pulpit that's not teaching us and leading us the right way. They skip over it. And this is what Christianity has done. Christian is a false religion. It's a man-made religion. And I just want to know, well, not really want to know. I just want to say to those who are lost out here in this world, in this dark time, and a lot of people have been given over to a reprobate mind. They're lovers of their flesh, so they got their rewards. But there's people out here that's leaving the church and that are lost, and they don't know how to come up out of it. And a lot of these kids, this generation today, they are lost and confused because these people, these elite people, these run these businesses, they run these music execs, they run anything and everything. They've been teaching and pushing poison on our people in our communities for ever since we've been disobedient in the commandments. Read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, talks about our blessings and our curses. Our blessings when we are obedient to the Most High, and our curses when we are disobedient to the Most High. And it says in scriptures how we was going to be exiled to a land that we have no rights. We lose the way of language, how we worship. We worship other mighty ones as the heathen Gentile nation does. And this is what happened to us, the true set apart nation, the true Hebrews of the scriptures, when we was brought to this land. And we was robbed of our language. But the good news is Our language is being restored, and our language has never left. He spoke Hebrew, Abarit Dabarim. That was our language that our ancestors spoke when came to this land in the transatlantic slave trade back in 1619. But how we speak in the Roman, Latin, Greek language, which is from this day is nothing but maybe just a little bit over 500 years old. So when we speak in this language, this Latin language, which was adopted by the Greeks, which we're speaking English, and some people in this world that speak this language, this is where you get this alphabet from. But in the original Hebrew alphabet, Hebrew Paleo, there was never a letter E, an I, a J, a S, or a W. If we spoke this and there was never the letter, I put it like this: transmogrification. Transmogrification. Say, for instance, I have a 6'4" Chevy Impala. Bought it, took all the original parts out of it, and put in new parts to make it go fast. It's like, say, for instance, like Fast and the Furious. You modify the car, transmogrification. You made it better. You made it different. All right. Or transliteration. His definition is transliteration, saying the same name in a different language. So no matter what language your native language is, if I say Patrick Mahomes, I speak in Spanish, Espanol, or I speak Cantonese, Mandarin, Italian, whatever, I'm always going to say Patrick Mahomes when I say his name. Transliteration, saying the same name, different language. Modification, changing the original. So this is what they did. This is what the Roman Catholic faith did. Modification. They changed the original name to make it fit their way. And this is exactly what they did. But from the Roman Catholic faith, which we know that's the synagogue of Satan, that's where Christianity, Islam, Lutheran, all these other different man-made religions. So it was in a book. He told us to be only one way. He didn't say be anything else. But anyway, this is what we spoke as a people and as a nation. But when I found out who my father's real name was, and I started really learning, he started speaking to me and just letting me know who I truly am and what I'm capable of and what my purpose here on this earth. That's when I really started seeing the wickedness, the poison that's been going on, that's been polluting our communities. Our young kids are lost, and they don't have no way out because they lost hope and they lost faith. And I can say, I know what you're going through. Our elders, people like are still on these corners, lost, don't have no way back. Some of them left here for a reason. Some of them about to lose their life. But if I ain't here to do my job, I don't fail, and I'm not going to fail. I cannot fail. But I understand how people can feel hopeless sometimes, feel like there's no way out. There is always way out. There's always hope. And that hope is in Yahuwah, our ALUAH. That is where our hope lies at. That's who can fix us and heal us, because he's close to the brokenhearted. He's really close to the brokenhearted. Those who've been through a lot of things, I understand, I know, I bore a lot of sins in this world. And man, I tell you, he's a way maker. He's the master redeemer. He blots out all our transgressions and our sins. We just got to cry out to him. I heard this saying, slide down the wall and do the ugly cry. We got to slide down the wall and do the ugly cry. We have to lament to the Most High. Because one thing about it is he searches our heart. He knows what's been done to us, how things was done to us. So I'm saying it to say this, there's always hope. I had everything and everybody after me. The United States government, world system, world leaders, people from different lands spying on me, technology. I had Secret Service men, military personnel, people that was off the grids that went dark and ghosts and everything else with no ID and stuff like that. Assassins, you know, um, factions, different gangs, neo Nazis, KKK, Hell's Angels, you name it, Freemasons, even pastors, leaders of the church. I mean, it got to the point where I almost lost. I almost gave up, because I was just I was at that point like I didn't care anymore. I will go to jail. But I had two Malachims, which are the angels. Two Malachims just came up to me and I just heard they talking. And they both was like, man, I don't care. This man told me, shout out to this brother. I don't remember his name. I don't know if I ever see him again or not. But he was in a car accident when the car flipped on top of him and he should have been dead. He said, man, the doctors didn't know how. Why am I still alive? It's only because of the Most High. He has a purpose here. And he told me, he said, man, you don't give nobody your energy, your time. He said, man, you have something here. And I had a person spoke over my life. He said, yeah, man, there's something about you. There's a prophet in you. And I heard it, several times before then. People telling me, man, you can be a teacher. Or I had people recently ask me if I'm a teacher, but I didn't know who I was. When I had to start loving on myself, start pouring into myself. How can I pour into people from an empty cup? That's exactly what I was doing because I didn't know how to love myself. And when I took the step back and he told me just to sit and watch and get engulfed in his word, just listen to him and sit still and listen to him. And he taught me how to pull out. He taught me how to petition. He taught me how to fight in the spirit. So when I learned how to fight in the spirit and I started seeing things, he started revealing things to me. He started revealing who my enemy was. And it's sad that the enemy is in my own house too as well. When you have a mother, you have your brothers, you have aunties, you have cousins that are Freemasons, secret society, these cults. People don't realize Freemasons is in Christianity. How is Christianity starting? These Baptist churches, these Methodists, everything else. Masonry, I don't care what faction or group you in. He said he hates factions, groups, society members. And he said it in the Bible. A lot of people are speaking from the word, but they're not living by the word. They're worshiping with their lips, but their hearts are far from him. Because if their hearts were with him, they would be obedient to his statutes, laws, and commands, and they know what he hates. But people use that to put themselves in positions and power. So, young brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, elders alike, it is time for us to repent. This is how you repent. You lament to him and with your whole heart, everything that you got. I don't care if it's like to your last breath. You got to cry out to him and let him know how sincere that you want him to fix you. Because it doesn't matter. The attacks are going to form, weapons are going to form, but you fight the right way and allow him to vindicate you, because vengeance is his, says Yahuwah. The vengeance is his, and he never lost the battle. He never lost a battle, and he will never lose one. He is undefeated. The devil is a lie. and those who worship him. Satan has already lost the war. It's written in scriptures. He can't do nothing without the most high position. Look at Job. Look at Job. Everything he lost. Satan got permission to, to destroy everything Job loved, take away everything, but he couldn't kill him. So, but he ended up getting everything back. But you just look at his story, you know, and I'm gonna piggyback off of somebody that means a lot to me. Shout out to DC Young Fly. You know, he said, read the book of Job. But Job asked the Most High, why me? I ain't a bad person. He said, why not you? He built his toughest warrior through all type of tribulations and storms and stuff like that. So no matter what you're going through in your life, I don't care if you're poor on the streets. I don't care if you lost your house. I don't care if you lost your job. I don't care if you lost your family. I don't care if you lost your bank account. You keep your trust and your hope and your faith in the Most High. Allow him to do the things he needed to do. Sometimes he just had to strip you of everything. And we had to put in the work. We had to petition. We had to pull out. We have to get it out the mud, and we got to be grateful. We got to be humble. We got to have all type of humility, all type of gratefulness and thankfulness in the storm, regardless of what it looks like. And I know people are anxious. People want things right then and there, how they want to do it, how it should come, how we should receive it, expecting this. And when you do that, you delay what he has for you. He will reveal to you who you are if you allow him to show you who you are and what his job for you to do. You know, he his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. So he knew us, he knows us, he loves us. That's why he gave us free will. Every day above ground is a chance and a choice to make better decisions. How you gonna serve him today? You have to learn how when you get up before your feet touch the ground, you gotta give him praise. You gotta acknowledge him. You got to humble yourself before his throne and invite him into your life and ask him, what can you do to bring honor and glory to his name, and how he can use you mightily for his kingdom, and allow him to lead you and guide you. And sometimes it's hard when there's a whole bunch of noise, a whole bunch of distractions. The world tell you this, say you got to smoke this, you got to drink this, you got to talk this way, you got to dress this way. Your parents pulling you here, communities pulling you there, government's on your back, and everything else. Your job, your boss, whatever it is, your kids. You know, I know what it's like. I know what it's like, and this is not for me seeking validation for other people. Just letting you know it's gonna be all right. You have to speak life into yourself. You got to love yourself. A lot of y'all been in relationships that have been toxic relationship because you got these relationships because you ain't healed from either childhood trauma or your past relationship trauma, and you seeking validation. But sometimes we can't help what we grow up. We can't help what we was subject to, or what we was made to see as growing up as children, and we piggyback. Or sometimes we don't know what type of family members that we have that speaks, that practice all type of debauchery, witchcraft, and sorcery that's in these covenants, in these secret societies, that's in these Illuminatis and stuff like that. And it's sad nowadays these kids out here are joining these groups and these secret societies because they are promising our children. They are promising these people that are poor. They're promising these people that are going through some things. They want help, but they're seeking help the wrong way. They are Satan came to kill, steal, and destroy. These groups that worship Satan, that follow Satan, know the truth, but denying you the real truth, denying them the real truth. Promise them, when you can get off the street, you need clothes. I need you. You got to join us. You need shoes. You want to continue your drug habit, but you ain't got to struggle or worry about it, or your alcohol habit. You want your kids to go to fine schools. You want this position on this job. You want this. You want to be successful in this area, that area. This is what they do. They promise them things, and the people are going for it. Not realizing they're selling themselves. What is the proper man? Gain the whole world, but lose his soul in the process. This is exactly what's going on. A lot of people are sleeping and cannot see because they still under that veil. Once that veil is removed and what you really see, you can't unseen what you see, and you in it for life. Either you're gonna be serious about your walk with the Most High and do what He calls you to do, or you're gonna die in your sin because He's telling you to come out of sin, come out of falsehood, come out of the ways of the world. Denounce and renounce all these wickedness that's going on in this world right now. This is a dark time, and it's sick. But I'm a man that went through many things. I suffered a lot. I suffered losses. I lost my family. When He tells you to move, you have to move. And this is what I'm doing. Even though I have everything I need, because if I have the Father, I have everything. I speak life to myself. And my heart is healed. I allow Him to heal me. I allow Him to prune me. I allow Him to mire me, keep me on that potter's wheel. Whenever things that's not of Him, He has to fix it. I can't fix it on my own. I had to allow Him to fix it and be obedient to what He's called for me to do and how to do it. It doesn't matter. Just like He told Samuel when he went to the house of Jesse, don't worry about his appearance or anything like that, because He searches the heart. He searched the heart of King David. And he was counted out. So no matter what you say, if He said He searches my heart, yeah, He does. He knows the hearts of a person. He knows wicked. What's in your heart, you will speak it and you will live it. What is in your heart, you will speak it and you will live it. And it's sad that a lot of these people in churches right now, they say curse words under their worshiping tongue. They don't want people to have their hatred. They speak curses. And it's sad that they say they love them, but their heart's far from them. They disregard the Old Testament and the Torah and everything else. They don't believe in the promises that He has for His set apart nation. They don't believe what He did in the old days, that altars are Baal worshipers. Elijah told him, take off your clothes and cut yourself and keep crying out to Him. He was mocking him. He was literally mocking him. And this is the thing. In the Old Testament and the New Testament, they changed the name of Yahuwah and changed it to Lord, all caps. Now we know that Lord is called Baal. Baal worship. A lot of people call on the Lord. Baal worship. So this is what they did. They changed it. This is what our oppressors did. King James, Emperor Constantine, and the Council of Nicaea. We can get all that later. But I just wanted to say I've been through a lot. I've been through all type of stuff. Like I said, I've been humiliated. I've been gang stalked. I've been monitored. I've been attacking. This is a spiritual attack. I've been dealing with these witches, these groups, these dark covens, these secret societies, these Freemasons, these people in the church. That's why He said The Most High dwells in us. His spirit, his rock, dwells in us. The kingdom of heaven is within your hearts and your body. This is a temple of the Most High. We're supposed to keep it pure. And I know a lot of people are on survival mode. And I understand what survival mode means and what it looks like. But I'm here to tell you, the survival mode is your wilderness season. It's your wilderness season. I may be separate out here in the wilderness season, but what he has for me is what he has for me. You know, I'm willing to embrace the unknown. My heart is open to embrace the unknown, what he has for me. And so like what he has for me is between me and him. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. I have people that follow me. Some good, some bad. They follow me. They see my conditions. My family members see my conditions and stuff like that, but they don't care. They don't care. Their heart's not sincere. So he told me to move away from my family. And I had to be away from my family. I sleep out here on these streets day and night, fighting in the spiritual realm, fighting battles that's unwarranted because I never know who I was, but I know who I am now. I am that I am. I'm that lighthouse on the hill that can't be hidden. I am the salt of the earth. I am the blueprint. I am the door. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it looks like. And I'm grateful and thankful that I don't have to suffer anything less. You know, people, I don't have to chase. I'm not chasing after nobody. I'm not chasing after fortune and fame. I'm not chasing after nothing. But I know what's for me and what I deserve and what was stolen from me, what was hidden from me. But at the end of the day, he got my battles. He got me. He's going to supply all my needs at the end of the day. But yeah, I know what it's like to be homeless. But I don't speak that over my life. I'm ain't anxious for anything. I'm expecting things for my life. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't need to know all that stuff. I just know that my father loves me and I love my father and I'm here to do his will. And to wake up people, those who are who's willing to be woke, you know. But this place, this city, this state is dark. You got these witches and these warlocks in these communities pushing poison, you know, positioning themselves. These people don't really, I ain't gonna say all of them like that, but these people really don't care. Especially my enemies, they ain't all people. They ain't all people. You know, Most High know his children, and his children know the children of the Most High. But I'm just here to say this. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. But we got to cry out to him. You got to cry out to the only name of the Most High. And that's Yahuwah, our ALUAH. That's the only name that our ancestors and our forefathers, the apostles and the prophets, mighty men and women of the scriptures, that's who they called on. You know, that's who they called on. And this is our time to stand up and speak the truth. The whole world been deceived. Satan deceived the whole world by JC and a false mighty one called God. Satan deceived the whole world, deceived this community, you know, low income communities, you know, just like the Edomites, the house of Esau, the mountains of Esau, how we was being exiled for over 400 years. And they did what they did when we was being punished. They raped our ancestors and our, you know, our mothers, our sisters, our wives, our daughters, our aunts, and our cousins. And some of them so sick they did it to the men. They fed the babies to gators, all this stuff, because they didn't want us to know who we are as a people, as a nation. We may be a small nation, but we are a powerful nation. To keep us away from who we are, but it was written about how our disobedience and what was going to happen to us when we started doing the things the heathen and the pagans did, worshiping stone and wood and clay and stuff like that. This is what they did. This is what the Roman Catholic faith did. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna keep speaking on that. That's for another topic for another day. But I just want to tell y'all that hold on to your hope and your trust and your faith in the Most High. Believe in His Word. Study His Word. Show yourself approved. Remember His promises over your life, because this is our history. Our history is in the Torah. Our history is in the Old Testament. Our history is in the Apocrypha, the missing books. You know, the book of Judith, how the men didn't stand up, but she was a woman of the Most High, and she fought for her people, the true Hebrews, us. So don't let nobody, and I mean nobody, tell you that the Most High cannot use women to fulfill His mission. Think of Queen Esther saved her people. That's just an example. So don't let nobody tell you that the Most High cannot use women to do the things. It says that your young men and women will prophesy. Your old young men will dream dreams. Hey, but I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Without humility and stuff, I exist. I am that I am. I am He. And my time is now. It's my time to live a life worth living, but peace, joy, justice, and love. You know, but I'm gonna expose my enemy. My enemy knows that I know who they are, and they know who I am. But this is for the rest of the world. A lot of y'all don't see it because they amongst you. You walks amongst them every single day. Every single day. But I guarantee you, once you cry out to the Most High, Yahuwah or ALUAH, and ask Him to show you, must He search your heart. If you sincere about changing your life, this is what you have to do. You have to seek His face. You have to surrender. You have to repent and allow Him to take control over your life. Let Him heal you. Let Him heal you the right way from all the trauma bonds, from all the stuff that you went through in your life. Allow Him to do that, because it's food for your soul. It will save you. It will save you. So count it all joy today, brothers and sisters, that you're above ground, that you face many trials. Many trials. You have to hold on. I know it's difficult. I know the mental anguish. I know the heartache. I know the pain. I know the trauma bond syndromes. I know all of it. And I tell you like this, if you ever, I intercede for y'all in the first place. I'll pull out a petition for y'all anyway. But if you ever need to reach me, send me a message on here. Let me know where you from. I'm doing big things. I'm going to do big things. And I'm going to do big things no matter what. I'm a man without honor in his own hometown. I sleep amongst people that are the walking dead. What I mean by the walking dead, the people that's out here, that's in this world, that's stuck on drugs and alcohol because their family members, because of society, didn't think that was right. A lot of these people out here, they're in this society. They probably was chosen at one point in their life, and they lost their way. They didn't see no more hope in humanity because where the system is, where these churches are, and where their family members are. And it's sad. And a lot of these preachers, They don't know what tithing really means, but they take collections and building funds and everything else. That's not the proper way of tithing. But they in their houses, and we got people in the congregation, they can't even pay their bills. They can't pay for their medication. They can't do none of that stuff. But these preachers and these pastors that mocks and stalks me and everything else, or use my words to twist them, whatever they choose to do, at the end of the day, their kids go to the best schools. They had a nice house. When he said we supposed to work with your hands, he's a builder of men. He makes apostles and prophets and teachers and leaders. That's what he does. People don't go to school for that. If he chooses to put his spirit out on people to lead, what are they doing behind the pulpit? You can have all the knowledge in the world. You can quote scriptures back and forth. You can know. You can say something. Give me this book here, and you can do this, that, whatever. It doesn't even matter how well that they know. But once that spirit is in you, a lot of these preachers are demon filled. Some of these congregation members, a lot of these pastors are afraid of their congregation members. I seen that as well coming up, and threatening faithful members. I've seen it all. Don't be like the Pharisees and Sadducees. Be on the corner. Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that. But believe it, like I tell you, that's what people lose hope in. They lost hope and faith and belief in the Most High because they've been taught wrong. They've been taught a false doctrine. They haven't been told the truth because the world doesn't want us to know the truth. And this is the truth. This is the good news. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what it looks like. I don't care what nobody thinks of me, says of me. He supplies all my needs. But if anybody felt like contributing, if it's in your heart, if the Most High poured on your spirit, send me a message. You know, uh, I do Cash App. I got Chime. So if you feel in your heart to do so, is deeply appreciated. If not, I still pull out a petition for you regardless, because we all his children. He's a father of us all. And I wouldn't be doing my job. And I'm not doing my job for this. I do it because I love my father and my father loves me. But I'm at the point where I don't depend on nobody. But hey, a brother gotta wash his clothes. A brother gotta wash his butt. A brother gotta, be able to take care of his temple the best way he can. And I'm doing it, getting it out the mud. I'm doing the best I can. And when you are obedient to the Most High, when he tell you to stay away from something, tell you not to do this and do that, you got to do it. And it doesn't matter what society says, how society says what you need to do this, do that. Allow the Most High. If the Most High tell you to do something, he's testing your obedience. And what the Messiah said, Yahusha say. He told the man to give up everything to follow him. Some people are like, no, I'm not giving up this and I'm not giving up that. I had to give up a lot of things. I had to let go of my mother. I had to let go of my brothers. I had to let go of my family members. I had to let go of somebody that was real dear to me that I care about so much. I had to let him go. And that was a son that I raised off and on for 10 years. That I love him so much. But I had to let him go. So I know what it is when you have to let go of some things and move away from something, to be in isolation, when you don't have nobody, when you don't have nobody supporting you. I know exactly what it's like. I know what it's like to sleep on these corners, sleep on these benches and stuff like that, eating out of trash cans, going to the bathroom in hospitals or certain libraries, stuff like that, washing yourself. I know what it's like. I know it. I just did that today. Went to a library and locked myself in the bathroom and washed myself and came out. Matter of fact, that's my daily routine. But I'm grateful though, because most people is not able to do that. There's people in other lands that's not able to have the luxuries that the people in this United States have, but they take it for granted. These people in high positions look down on the poor and stuff like that. So I'm grateful and thankful I'm able to do that. I go to pantries and stuff just to survive, try to have me something to eat for the day. Each day is something. Sometimes I can't even eat. I had to fast. But hey, it's not for nobody's glory but the Most High. He gets all the glory. Obedience is better than sacrifice. Sometimes you just have to be obedient to his word. You have to do what you have to do. I have to do what I have to do. And it doesn't matter what anybody says or think or feel. Y'all can call me lazy. Y'all can call me do whatever I want. But when he tells you to do something, you got to do it. No matter how painful it is, no matter how ugly it is. But I'm going to lose this. I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to lose my position. I'm going to lose my car. I'm going to lose my family members. I'm going to lose this. So, 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 excuse me. So what? He's a law of order, structure, discipline, obedience. He want to see if he can trust you. But these are our last days. So I understand what people are going through. I understand how they feel. I know what it's like to be on top, have a lot. I had a lot of things. What it's like to be in a position of leadership role. I know what it's like. When I was met with so much opposition, but at the end of the day, he's. I get it from my father. It's inherited. It's in my DNA. So, but I'm not here to shame nobody. I'm just here to uplift people. Do the best I can to uplift those who have no hope, who have no way. Get involved in the scriptures. I know everything that I'm saying to you is in the book. And I'm not the type of person that know certain books. I know when books have been taken out, I know certain books that the enemy is kept, don't want nobody to know. I know there's a book out there's a scriptures out there, the Ethiopian Bible, have 88 books in it. But they preserved it. The teachings, like the good news of Mary Magdalene, the apocrypha 1, 2, 3, 4 book of Maccabees, Esdras 1 and 2, Battle of the Dragon, Jubilees, Wisdom of Solomon, Judith, all these things, certain books, the Order of Melchizedek, the Book of Him, it's so many things. So just know that I know, and I know what you're going through. I know how you feel. And you're not alone. You're never alone. I used to thought I was by myself, but the Most High had me when the whole world, when most of the world dug a pit for me. And I said, when he saved me from the pit, and he saved me from the slimy pit, he saved me from the slimy pit. This is what he's done for me. And he showed me who I am, and I'm being my authentic self. I am the Son of Man. It was written about me, but it doesn't matter. But it looks like everybody's looking for this and looking for that. His ways is not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. It's spoke on a time like this. You see what's going on in the world, these disasters, these weathers, these hurricanes and these earthquakes and these tornadoes and these fires and everything else. Y'all don't think, but at the end of the day, don't lose hope. Pull out a petition for your communities, your people. Find know what's going on tonight. If you know that the Most High dwells in you, if you know that He has you, He will never leave you, forsake you, and we know how to fight, ain't nothing the enemy can do. They can huff and they can puff. They can threaten. They can say all these things, but at the end of the day, they can bring a whole squad, but they don't know my father's squad. They don't know my squad. They don't know our forefathers and the ancestors that died for their belief and their trust and their faith in the Most High, because they obeyed His statutes, laws, and commandments. Some of them didn't. That's why we're in the mess we're in the United States of America, and people forget about that. These young kids don't reverence the people that laid the path before them, that sacrificed their life. A lot of our ancestors, they died drowning on their way to this land because they thought death was better than going back to being a slave. When He saved us, He saved them from their ancestors from the grips of Pharaoh. So they really, some of them jumped ship. Some of them stayed behind, but majority of them jumped ship because they would rather die than to be a slave, than to conform. Like I said, the 7 brothers, the mother and the 7 brothers, they died for their faith because they refused to eat pork. And these people killed them. And the mother told them, to die for your faith and your belief is an honorable death. I would rather die with my faith, with my belief and my trust in the Most High than conform to any group, coven, faction, any theological man-made society thinking, false doctrine, or the sin of God of Satan. I would rather die. So let me die. Let me die for my people. I would die for my people. I would lead my people. Hey, I'm called. I'm called. I'm called to expose the darkness of this world, and they know it, and I see it every day. But I have to learn how to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all got to learn how to fight. There's plenty of people that know how to fight with their plows and their petitions. A lot of them. They intercede for us, not intercede for y'all. So just know you're not in this by yourself. Just know you have someone that goes to the Father for y'all daily and night. Because I do care about His children. He's the Father of us all. I care about everybody. I want everybody to win. But at the end of the day, I got to do me. Scripture says, save yourself. So I got to save myself, and I'm going to save myself. But I don't got no problem helping people who wants to do it the right way. I'm not entertaining no negative person, no demons, no trauma-bound person that wants to get close. Just no, I'm not going that route. I'm not going that route at all. And I refuse not to go. I'm not taking that route. You got to save yourself. You got to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You can lead a wild horse, but you can't make them drink it. I can lead. I am the door. I'm knocking. You hear me knocking to your heart. I'm trying to let you know this is what it is. This is what it is. So don't think your situation. You look about these people in the other lands, like in Ethiopia, all these other communities where they people stole and kept resources, and they kids are starving. That stuff is real. That stuff is real. So we got it good over here, even though we don't. We have it better than most of the people that's in this earth. So be thankful that you're able to go to certain places, food pantries, to get you a hot meal 2 or 3 times a day, or every other day, go get you some food and stuff that lasts you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be grateful and be thankful that you can go somewhere like a library or somewhere, because a lot of these hotel rooms don't let people come in to use their bathrooms, or they got empty rooms that come in there to take a shower. They don't do stuff like that. They don't care about it. All they care about is money. They don't care about the soul. They care about how much money you got. I ain't saying money is wrong. Money is a good thing if it's done right, if it's used right. But a lot of people, they said the love of money is the root of all evil. Pride and selfishness is the root of all evil. A lot of people are prideful about their business, prideful about their bank accounts, prideful about what they're doing. And they selfish with their resources. They're selfish with they're able to help people. They don't want to help people. They selfish. They greedy. I'm not saying, self-care is self-care. I can be selfish about how what I want for myself. I want the best for myself. I want to take care of myself. I want to be able to pour into myself. If I can't pour into myself, how can I pour into others? So I want the best. I'm expecting the best for myself. I'm expecting the best for myself because I'm great. I got value. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. I know what I am. I know what I'm here for. I'm here under his authority, not nobody else's. His authority. I know how great I am. I know how powerful I am. But I love and I care. I'm humble. I'm grateful to him. So no matter what, but these people are doing it the wrong way. They pride and they selfishness. These elites, these dark forces and stuff like that. They send these people. Satan is a lie. The devil is a lie. He's taking people with him. And a lot of these people are going down for the things they done. It is our time to be first. It's our time to be the head. The meek shall inherit the earth. So no matter what it looks like, but you petition and pull out for the people. I petition and pull out for humanity and animals. I had to stop eating meat because they wasn't sacrificed right. Animals being killed and slaughtered, so you're eating dead flesh. You're eating things that's been murdered. And it's sad. And I had to learn that and a lot of these people are coming up missing too. So it's not enough cattle on this land to feed people throughout this earth. There's not enough cattle to have these stores, these grocery stores that's stocked up in cities and states on this earth and on this world. Ain't enough food. But there's a lot of people that come up missing every day. So you really have to think about whether you're eating, how you're eating. But I love y'all so much. But it's time for me to do me. I mean, I'm not going to stop caring about people and stop loving on people and stop showing up. But at the end of the day, I care about myself enough now. I ain't worrying about what family members have to say. I don't worry about what fake friends have to say. I don't have to worry about this United States government, no preacher, nobody. What he has for me, he has for me. And what it is, he's telling me this is how I have to roll, this is how I have to roll. But like I said, if you want to help a brother out, it's deeply appreciated. If not, I still love you and I still pull out a petition for y'all because I know we are great men and women of the Most High. We are his children. So at the end of the day, he supplies all my needs. I'm not begging, chasing for nothing. I get it how I get it. I get it out the mud. And if he don't move on you to do it, hey, that just lets me know I got to trust in him more and more every day. So we reach one, we teach one, we walk heavy for the kingdom. We bring others to Yahuwah, our ALUAH. We surrender to his will. In the name of his only begotten son, Yahusha HaMashiach. Not JC. Not no false mighty ones. Not no pagan worships. Not no false deities. Anything else like that. Yahuwah, our ALUAH, the eternal king. Love y'all. Be seeing you soon.